Well, would you look who's here? Looks like it's going to be a day to remember. Guys, look who the sea washed up!
Ahoy there, traveler! So Captain really did invite you to join the homecoming celebration.
Hey, I heard that you took care of another crisis while you were in Inazuma. Are the rumors true?
That's what I heard too. Thanks to you, Inazuma's Vision Hunt decree was finally put to an end. Well done, traveler.
Captain's got quite the eye for people. She said she was sure that your trip to Inazuma would stir up some waves. And sure enough...
Look at you, being so modest. We all know what you did to protect Liyue Harbor.
I've heard that they tell stories about you in Mondstadt, too. The honorary knight. Pretty impressive.
I'd say someone of your caliber would be right at home in the Crux. Right, sailors?
That's right. Wow, I'm getting excited just thinking of being the Traveler's crewmate. Hey, what do you say we arm wrestle?
I was worried you'd be too busy to show up.
Oh, Captain on deck!
Captain, we were just trying to talk the Traveler into joining the crew.
Yeah, come on, Captain Beidou. Surely you've got a way to get the Traveler on board.
Oh, he's on board right now for the celebration, isn't he?
Yeah, but just one celebration together is not enough. You know what we mean, Captain.
All right, I get it now. There is something special about you, Traveler. You earned everyone's respect, myself included. So it goes without saying that the Crux would be honored to have a crew member such as yourself.
No doubt about that.
But then again, a hero like yourself doesn't just set off on a journey without some bigger purpose in mind. So should a hero really drop what they're doing just to spend day after day drifting at sea with us? Well, if that were the case, then the Crux, known for always moving forward to the next horizon, would instead be holding someone back.
Right. I guess we didn't think that part through.
Remember, rather than seeking out strong members to join us, you should be focusing on making yourselves the strongest that you can be. If we are powerful, they will come to us. Isn't that why everyone here chose to come aboard in the first place?
Yes. A strong sailor is always looking for a sturdy ship.
I guess I almost forgot the first lesson you ever taught me. Thanks for the reminder, Captain.
Just be sure you all keep that in mind. Now, there's no more need to hound the Traveler, as you were. The Traveler and I have something to discuss. I'm glad you came. Welcome back aboard. Hey, don't mention it. As a host, it would be pretty embarrassing to continue letting my guests be put on the spot like that. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today. As the head of the fleet, my task is to keep us on the right course, no matter how turbulent the seas may become. But then again, the crew isn't usually this riled up. It's not that they're arrogant, they're just bubbling with ambition, that's all. Their excitement today comes from their great respect for you, both your strength and your character. So please, don't take it the wrong way. Oh, is that so? Well, it just so happens that we're doing some recruitment and training for new crew members while we're back. It'll be a first-rate chance to learn the life of a sailor. Since you're interested, why don't you come along and experience a sailor's life firsthand? I'm curious to see if you'll take the sea by storm in the same way you have on land. Good, come with me. I've got something interesting for you to see. Chief Mate Juza's breaking in the newcomers, but I think we can spare you the tedium of that. After this, the new crew members will be arranged into 2 teams for more specialized training, according to their own aptitudes and the needs of the fleet. One team will learn comprehensive survival skills, including maritime emergency rescue, marine meteorology, psychological counseling, and so on. They will serve as the support team for the fleet, ensuring safe navigation. That's why we call them the Shield of the Crux. That's right. You catch on quick. As one might expect, we call the other team the Spear of the Crux, because they'll be learning about naval warfare. They'll make up the armed portion of our crew. Also, they're responsible for handling the fleet's cargo deals. So, what do you think? Which team is for you? As I expected, you have a will to protect others. There are two main subjects that the Shield of the Crux focuses on: survival knowledge and entertainment. As I was saying earlier, survival knowledge includes prevention of injuries and diseases at sea, navigation and cartography, basic meteorology, etc. You can go learn about these skills from Yinxing, Huixing, and Liushi. They're all seasoned hands in their respective fields. Each sailor has their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm no rookie, of course, but you shouldn't underestimate the knowledge of the crew. If there's anything I'm most proud of in the fleet, it's my people. Go and get to work. I'll have some questions to test you later. I look forward to seeing how you do.
Hello, Traveler. I'm Yinxing, the Crux's surgeon at sea. Whenever a sailor has a health problem, they come to me. I deal with it all, from seasickness and common colds to amputations and everything in between. Oh, I presume the captain arranged this, correct? All right then, let's begin. First of all, let me ask you this. What do you think is the biggest danger that all new crew members face? That can certainly be a problem at sea, but it's not the biggest danger. The most dangerous thing for a newcomer is to underestimate the dangers of life at sea. Oh, I have seen many new crew members who see themselves as young and fighting fit and have no regard for safety. They think that since they are tough enough to look after themselves on land, they'll be fine at sea as well. Those are the ones that always end up in the sick bay. Everyone should know that being a sailor, especially on a long voyage, is a brutal job in an unforgiving environment. We have to face malnutrition when we're short on supplies, all kinds of injuries and diseases that the harsh ocean weather can bring, and even the psychological problems that can arise due to isolation and the lack of entertainment. To make things worse, the lack of medication and treatment options at sea can result in even minor health problems becoming serious, or even fatal. Oh, you probably thought I was joking, right? Well, that's not surprising. Most newcomers think the same way. But hopefully you now realize that with a little extra precaution, a lot of these things can be avoided. Well, I think that's enough for you to think over for now. Is there anything else you would like to know? Well, my pleasure. Okay, let's leave it there then. Be sure to take good care of your health.
Sorry about earlier, Traveler. We were so caught up on getting you to join the fleet that we didn't notice we were going a little overboard. Good thing the captain stepped in. Oh! Well, in that case, you have come to the right person. I'm not just blowing smoke. You're looking at the most talented navigator in Liyue Harbor. I'll start by introducing some chart reading essentials for new sailors. Feel free to interrupt if you have any questions. Let's start with what to look for when you get a set of complicated charts. First, you should always look at any indicated shorelines, islands or reefs, water depths, hydrological conditions, and other hazards. With these features in mind, you can answer the basic question of, can I chart a safe course through this area? Visually, nautical charts are a little unique. Unlike land maps, most charts do not have a fixed scale, which means that it can be hard to precisely determine the exact distance between 2 points. The most advanced nautical charts come with a supplementary chart, which has different colored lines marked on it to indicate distances. It's worth mentioning that under my direction, the Crux is using these advanced kinds of charts. Some cartographers mark out other points of interest on their charts, usually with their own special symbols. If they don't leave any accompanying notes, they can be very difficult to interpret. Not only those, we have tattered and torn charts that we've picked up from all over the place. To be honest, it can be quite a challenge, even for me. Some of these charts are really old and have symbols that I've never seen before. But if we don't decipher them, we will certainly miss many secrets of the sea. Fortunately, we have the captain with us. She managed to find some ancient books on semiotics that I can use to study the charts further. I don't think anyone other than our captain could manage to get these kinds of resources. Old charts and ancient books on semiotics are not the kinds of things that are sold in your average marketplace. Oops, I've gotten off topic. Well, that just about covers the basics of chart reading. Is there anything else you would like to know, Traveler? My pleasure. A friend of Captain Beidou is a friend of mine.
Hello, Traveler. Are you here to learn about marine meteorology? In my line of work, I've got to have a pair of sharp eyes. I saw the captain showing you around the training grounds, and then you went to see Yingxing and Huixing. So I figured that she probably wants you to get to know the life of a crew member. Okay, let's get started. First, I'll introduce you to the basics of meteorology. Marine meteorology basically means keeping tabs on the weather as well as other ocean phenomena, so things like sea fog, storm surges, water spouts, and so on. These are all potential threats to safe navigation. Luckily, whatever weather might be coming up, there's always some kind of sign that gives it away in advance. Take water spouts, for example. They're caused by high-speed rotating winds on the surface of the ocean. They can engulf large ships and do immense damage. But if you know that water spouts can only form in an environment with high temperature, high humidity, and large clouds, then you can be well prepared. You will be even more alert if you also know that the presence of winds blowing in opposite directions, with a significant difference in speed, is a direct precursor to the formation of water spouts. And most importantly, if you spot a small white vortex emerging from the clouds, you should immediately notify the crew to steer clear of what's ahead. So there you go. Those are the warning signs of water spouts. I am proud to say that over the years, I haven't let a single one sneak up on my watch. Well, I'm good at reading the sea, but I'm not as good as the captain when it comes to reading people. Do you know the small fishing village next to Wangshuin? I heard that when Captain was a kid, she worked there fishing with the adults. Later, she made her way to the harbor where she struggled to make a living. Managing to survive in an environment like that as a kid is solid proof of the captain's capabilities. If it wasn't for her, I never would have dreamed of taking this job. She gave me confidence and told me I could do it. You may not have heard, but I'm best known outside the Crux fleet for a slightly infamous story involving me, third-round knockout, and a few too many. Who would ever have thought that the rookie sailor who fell drunk into the sea and became a laughingstock among their now former crewmates would then go on to become a lookout for the Crux? But it's the unbelievable truth. It proves that having skills alone is not enough. You need someone like the captain who is a good judge of character. Find me anytime if you want to know more.
So you've already finished talking to the crew, huh? I thought it would take you a while longer. So, what did you think? Well, you sound confident, but don't underestimate the shield of the Crux. Gotta admit, though, I like your attitude, kid. Okay, let's get started. First of all, life on the sea isn't always plain sailing. Injuries and illnesses happen all the time. But what is the single biggest danger facing crew members? Is that your final answer? All right, on to the second question. As you've just learned, the fleet plots its route using nautical charts. The charts used by the Crux have additional charts attached. The supplementary chart has lots of lines in various colors for added reference. What is the purpose of these lines? Okay, interesting. Now, last question. On longer voyages, we have to be especially careful to avoid certain weather hazards that pose a threat to the integrity of the ship and the lives of the crew. For example, water spouts. So my question is, how can we reliably predict water spouts so we can avoid them? Okay, those are all my questions. Do you want to know how you did? I gotta say, each time I think I've wrapped my head around how great you are, you surprise me with something new. You got them all correct. They weren't the most difficult questions, but they weren't ones you could bluff your way through either. You've clearly been paying attention to my crew. Okay then. Now it's time to apply that endless talent of yours to learning some new recreational activities. Don't worry, all our recreational activities are respectable and, above board. You need to realize that being out at sea might be fun for the first few days while everything's new, but before too long, looking at the same old sea every day and being so isolated from everything can really cause people to struggle mentally. That is why regular recreational activities are an absolute necessity. We offer a lot of fun courses for our newcomer training, including fishing, photography, chess. Oh, and thanks to Kazuha, these days we also offer poetry and music appreciation, as well as communal wind listening. Each newcomer has to participate in at least one, so that they've got some way of keeping themselves occupied at sea further down the line. Of course, if you'd prefer wrestling sea monsters with your bare hands, that can be arranged. Well, for today at least, let's stick to the training schedule drawn up by Juza. If I remember correctly, it should be photography today. Come on, I'll show you.
Listen up, everyone can go back and call it a day. The photography session has been postponed.
What's going on here, Juza?
Oh, Captain, there you are. Well, Captain, the photography teacher just sent word saying that she's fallen ill and doesn't want to risk coming in case she keels over in class.
I see. That's quite unfortunate. Oh? Quite the multi-talented one, aren't you? In that case, why don't you help us out and lead the class today?
Yeah, unfortunately, the original teacher canceled at short notice, so there's no time to schedule anything else instead. It would be great if the Traveler could step in as the teacher for the day.
It's up to you, Traveler. Great, it's settled then. Juza, let's muster everyone over here to meet the new teacher.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. That should be everyone. Take it away, Traveler. Oh yeah? What's that? Fair enough. It seems like you already have someone in mind. So, who will it be? Me? well, we could do that, or... Guyonstone Forest looks extraordinary today. It'd be a pity to not capture the scenery for posterity. So how about we snap Guyonstone Forest for today's class? Then there'd be no need for a model.
Come on, Captain. We talked about this. The photography class is supposed to be portrait photography. Have you forgotten? Scenery looks nice at first, but it gets boring after a while. I bet it'd keep the crew more entertained if we got them learning portrait photography so they could record moments in each other's daily lives. Those were your exact words, Captain.
Were they now? Strange. I don't seem to remember anything about that. Well, then in that case, how about Huixing? I bet she's perfect for the camera. Or Fuzhong. Or Mora Grubber. Even little Yue.
Seriously, Captain? Little Yue? You're just trying to wriggle your way out of this. This isn't like you. You are the captain, after all. Of all of us, you're the best suited to being a model.
I agree. You were the one who invited the Traveler to be the teacher, so you should cooperate, Captain. Besides, Captain, you've never had your photo taken. It's high time you got one. You know, a heroic and striking kind of picture. We can even use it to promote the fleet during recruitment.
Real funny, guys. Well, if you say so. I'm not one to spoil the fun. So, what do I do now, Traveler? Like... this? You're kidding, right? I've never had my photo taken before, but something this simple shouldn't be a challenge for me. It must be... the lighting, or something. You've got it wrong. I never said that. You mean, go somewhere else, then bring the final photo back as teaching material?
Sounds good to me. That's a good idea, isn't it, guys?
The lighting may still be a problem. But I'm open to persuasion. If you have a suitable place in mind, I can consider it. Just to be clear, I won't necessarily agree. It depends on the place you have in mind. The fishing village near Wangshu Inn? That place is deserted now, isn't it? How do you even know that place anyway? It's tiny. I don't think I've ever seen it on a single map. Treasure? There? I guess I missed out on that one. It just so happens that that little village is where I grew up. Now that you've mentioned it, it's given me the urge to go back and take a look around. How about we take this opportunity to pay my old home a visit? It's certainly seen better days. It was never that impressive, but at least back in the day it was a lively village and home to several families. I wonder how long these last few old houses will remain standing. Nothing as dramatic as you might think. A few small incidents occurred, and then people began to leave. Come on, let's take a walk around. People used to call this place Downriver because the villagers apparently moved here from a place called Upriver. With them, they brought their knowledge of fishing, which had been passed down from generation to generation. I learned a lot from them when I was here. Now Upriver is long gone, and Downriver is all but deserted. It won't be long before no one even remembers what these places are called. Tu Zhong. Zhong. I barely remember this name. You're right. I was only about 5 or 6 years old when I first arrived here. I was homeless and had to wander around the streets. I remember finally managing to find half a rice bun, but then a stray dog jumped out and snatched it away from me. Half a rice bun was not something I was willing to give up so easily at the time, so I chased it all the way to this neighborhood. Then a few fishermen saw us running and stopped me. They were kind enough to give me some food. Seeing me stop, the dog also stopped running. But straight away it keeled over and never got up again. Maybe it was too tired, or maybe it had starved to death. I went over and saw that the dog still had the half rice bun in its mouth. It didn't let go even at the very end. Poor thing. Had I known the dog was so weak, I would have let it take that half rice bun. I could tell they were wary of me at first. I was the dirty little kid who had just chased a dog to death over some scraps of food. But I got lucky. The village chief took pity on me and brought me to their home. That's how I ended up staying here. Do you know what the name Beidou means? Come on, I'll explain along the way. About a year or two after I arrived, the village chief fell ill during the winter and passed away. During that same period, the harvest was getting worse and the fishermen's catch was getting smaller day by day. Without the village chief to handle the situation, people began blaming each other. There were even rumors that some families had been overfishing and leaving nothing for the rest of the village to catch. But in the end, they all turned on me, saying that they shouldn't have ever taken me in. They said I was bad luck. They pointed to how that dog died on the first day I arrived. Next thing you know, the village chief dies, and then all the fish die out. They said I was a living curse, and the downfall of the village was all my fault. I told them that I didn't understand. I'm not a curse, I'm just Beidou. Then some of the villagers started shouting, and drove me out of the village. They shouted, "Nando controls life. Beidou controls death. Beidou controls death." Before then, all I knew about my name was that it had something to do with the stars. It wasn't until then that I realized that Beidou was a constellation. And the Alcor, one of its stars, was an omen of death. here we are. This is the old house of the village chief. I bet he never expected that the little girl he took in would grow up to be seen as a curse that brought about the village's total destruction. What do you mean? Is that all? And let me guess, you got to Inazuma and the Electro Archon's gnosis was taken as well? Well, you seem to wreak havoc on a grander scale than I ever could. Oh, I get it. You're trying to convince me that I'm not cursed. I appreciate it, and I'll take it. Let's not forget that the people whose names stick around are the ones who emerge from the stormy seas unscathed, and the ones who get swept away in the wind are the fledgling birds who couldn't hack it. I, for one, have never encountered a storm I couldn't weather. But your journey's far from over, isn't it? Just remember, there's no telling what else you might encounter in this vast world. So if you ever find some idiot trying to brand you as a scapegoat just because you're the one who lived to tell the tale, tell them Captain Beidou demands to have the honor along with you. Remember, you'll always have the captain of the Crux to back you up wherever you go. Two cursed scapegoats banding together for survival. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, but at the same time, I kinda dig it. I'm lucky to have a friend like you. Okay, it's time to get back to our photography. Right, teacher? Come on, let's not waste any time. Get it done while you can before I change my mind. So, do I need to strike a pose? All right. How about this? So, is it done yet? Please don't tell me that it looks weird. Show me. Yeah, sure, whatever. Now give it here. Yes. I see. All right. On behalf of the Crux, thank you very much for your photography class today. You've been an excellent teacher, and I couldn't be more satisfied. Now, as captain of the Crux, I am exercising my official right to requisition this photograph for future promotion and recruitment purposes. So I'm afraid I'll be holding on to this. That's fine with you though, right?